Previously on Common Sense for Relationship.
Culture and conviction. How honest should we be about our culture and conviction?
Are we becoming very modern that culture doesn't matter?
Do I really want this, or is this my culture that's making me want this?
If you go to a place, if they have a particular way they greet their king, a particular way they greet their elders, even if you are coming from the moon, learn it.
I don't understand why I will come to see you as a guy and your mom will be sleeping in the house and you are there. Please, what are your hands there for?
So when she gets to her own husband's house, is that how she's going to be talking to people? It doesn't make sense. I don't think it can happen under the heaven.
From the culture I come from, the Igbo culture, the man is supposed to be the Lord, not even the head.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I hope you're live. We're live, right? All right. I'm pretty sure this is not the faces you all wanted to see, but then don't worry, it's part of the strategy. Calm down. It's part of the strategy. So as customary, if you can hear us, please drop a chat 111. Let's just see. Let's do a test run. Let's know how many people can hear us, how many people can see us. Please. 111. Let's know. Don't worry, today's going to be fun. Today's going to be mad fun. All right. Okay. 111. 111 if you can see us. 111 if you can hear us. Woo! Today is going to be awesome. All right, man, Olivia says 111. Tomorrow says 111. So we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm pretty sure you're wondering who is with me here. Okay? The person that is with me is. Introduce yourself now.
I thought you were doing the talking yourself.
Oh, no, introduce yourself. What's your name?
All right, so my name is Uche Ihonye, but Uche is fine. And I'm here with my friend, my brother, KJ, Kingsley. And just like he said, it promises to be fun tonight. Although you're seeing our faces for the first time. Okay, you're seeing my face for the first time. I don't know about him, but it's going to be fun. So let's get this rolling.
Okay. So I know a lot of you are wondering, where are the Batures? Why are we having these two young men here? One bearded, one without beard. Really, right now? Don't worry.
Don't worry, there's hope.
The Batures are around. This is part of the trick for the show. Okay? They're going to come on set. But before they do, we are here to talk about the poll. All right? Right?
Yeah.
So the question for the poll is that, wait, where's that poll? Let me check it. Because I really need us to see the poll. Okay. Yes. Oh, someone said they cannot see our face. Kilo happen. They can't see our face.
Well, can you at least hear? Okay. Yeah, the 111 confirms they can hear us, right?
No video. Yeah, 111 confirms they can hear us, but no video.
Okay, so we apologize for that.
Just give us a second.
Just a second. I'm sure you'll be able to see our faces. So if you can hear us, and while we wait for the video to come up, should it be that if you are yet to vote, kindly go on and vote. As okay, I see the votes are still coming in. Let's have more people join us, and let's have more people, turn in their votes, what they are thinking, or what the thoughts they share, if they can date a partner that says no sex till marriage.
Yes.
And,
okay. All right. So we put up a poll during the week as we were preparing for this program. Okay. I'm pretty sure you will see us very soon. Okay.
I'm sure they can see us already.
All right, they can see us.
So let's do 222 if you can see us now.
Yes, if you can see us,
222.
222. 222 if you can see us. If you can see us. If you can see us. 222 if you can see us, please. We're still waiting. All right. Okay, we have someone. Okay, so the patrons are behind the scene. They'll soon come up. Okay. Relax. Farabalẹ̀. So we put up a poll during the week, and we were asking a question.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask the question. And please, if you're coming in, please do well to subscribe if you haven't. Share the link and invite your friends. Today is going to be mad fun. We're going to talk about sexual appetite. Don't worry, we'll say it the way it is. You get? We are not missing anything. So we put up a poll during the week, and we'll ask the question. And if you're coming in, please do well to also
put on your notifications if you haven't done that already.
Do well to also participate in the poll. The question was, can you date a partner that says no to sex before marriage? Now, before I read out the result of the poll, which I assume a few of you have already seen, let me ask you.
Okay.
I know you've already done your own poll, but I'll still ask you.
Okay.
In all sincerity,
okay,
can you? I know you're married. By the way, guys, he's married. You see, he's not fake. He's married. He's married. Congratulations, he just had a child.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking now, when you were not yet married,
okay,
could you have dated someone who says no to sex before marriage? In all sincerity.
Well, I think you've known me for a while, and you know, of course, it will be sincere, right? Mm-hmm. My response. And now, truth is, I don't think the question should be could I have, because I've gone through the stage of dating, and now I'm married, right? And yes, I actually dated someone and married someone who said no sex till marriage. I mean, someone who could break up because you mistakenly maybe do one of those things you shouldn't do, maybe a surprise kiss that is too close to the lips. She was willing to break up the relationship because of that. So yes, I did date and I married someone who said no sex before marriage, and she meant it actually.
How did that make you feel?
Well, it happens that it wasn't a big deal, because first of all, I was actually of the same. I shared the same value, the same opinion that I mean, if we're going to do this thing in marriage, in fact, personally, I knew very much that if we had sex, or if we were having sex before marriage, I had this picture of the ideal wedding night I wanted.
So the ideal wedding night you wanted did not include sex before marriage, right?
Wedding night, sex before marriage? No. It will kill the entire vibe, the entire plan.
Sorry.
For me.
Sorry, I want to ask.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? Like, how did that make you feel, knowing that you're going into a relationship with someone who says no to sex?
Okay.
You didn't know how long the relationship was going to last.
Okay. I knew how long the relationship was going to last, actually. For those that knew me, and I mean,
how long did it last?
It lasted about a year plus before we eventually got married. So we knew we weren't coming into something. So we were trying to see if it would work or not. And I had it in my own mind that, you know how badly it was. I came to a point where I spoke to a friend, and I was like, if this thing too hold me, if for any reason I think I can't hold it again, I'd rather have sex. I'd rather cheat on her. I know that could be a topic for another. I'd rather cheat on her. Why preserving her?
Why preserving her?
Because she was that special person to me, or she is that special person to me. So I felt at a point that having sex with her before marriage, it's actually a crime against her. Like, I was disrespecting her. So should it have been was it the case where the lady was willing to have sex, and as in before marriage, I still wouldn't have been able to pull through with that. Because she's that price I was willing to wait for. So what's the essence of my grandma would say, don't if it's something that will be given to you, why are you going to take a pinch of it? So
all right.
yes.
So we went from a very much married man. So now I'm going to read the result of the poll. Okay. Now, can you date a partner that says no to sex before marriage? Now, here's the result. 69% of people said yes, and 31% of people said no.
Interestingly,
what can you say about that? 69 said yes, they can date someone who says no to sex before marriage. 31% says no, they can't date someone who says no to sex before marriage.
You know what I think about this from this poll now? You just get to discover that if it were possible, a lot of people will actually wait. I feel they know the beauty in waiting. So you might be surprised some of the people saying yes, they would wait, actually might not end up not waiting, or I don't know, you understand? But that tells you that the desire inborn, like innate in every man, we know the right thing to do. We know we are supposed to wait. So whether or not you end up waiting doesn't change the fact that you're actually supposed to wait. Okay.
So my question is.
So I'm not too surprised that a lot of people are saying.
I am actually surprised.
I know why you're surprised.
No, let me tell you why I'm surprised. Let me tell you why I'm surprised. If 31% are saying, if 69% are saying yes, that they could date
in this current world, right?
How come we are having so much a percentage of premarital sex?
Why do I feel like asking you? How do you know we are having a lot of?
The statistics is there, like it's everywhere. Do you get? Okay, don't worry. The Bature.
And you said we, KJ. You said how come we are having?
Like the nation.
Should we talk about this?
Wait, are you trying?
I wouldn't take it personal. I wouldn't personalize it right now. But I really think that a lot of people, yes, would want to wait for. I mean, it's something worth waiting for.
The policy going up. We now have
it's something worth waiting for. I can tell you, because there's literally, sometimes I ask, okay, you live with a lady for say 2 years, 3 years, someone you're going to get married to, and eventually you now get married. And your wedding night, you're going on honeymoon to do what exactly? What's that thing that is different from what you've been doing? I mean, you've literally seen it all and done it all.
I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you. This is a situation of reality and what is
supposed to be.
What is happening and what's supposed to be.
Okay.
Anyways, before we go further, we want to know the Batures are actually, they are coming upset.
Yeah.
So they come and explain to us. They come and give us the gist.
Expect it very raw.
Yes, expect it very raw.
Right?
So today's topic is sexual appetite and versus preferences. How is he hungry? How much should he hungry? How much should it? How much hunger? Is it wrong to have too much of the hungriness?
I don't think so.
In you? You don't think so, Ba?
Well, it's just me. I mean, you're like John the Baptist.
Is too much to have. Do you understand?
When you talk about sexual preferences, okay, I guess the Batures would explain that, so we have the context.
So
and okay.
I hope the Batures are ready, because they'll come and answer all these tough questions. I mean, so, ladies and
gentlemen, they're always ready.
All the way from Common Sense for Relationship Show. Let's give it up. A round of applause for Mr. and Mrs. Bature. Please, you push your contact. Come on, take the mic from us.
All right. Thank you.
This one, na clarion call. To all the brothers and sisters within this country. Naija. Now our land. Now we go save her. If you know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC.
Make it no be like I no tell you. Make it no be like saying that Bature they wear you. Everybody, mama and papa, make we go clear you. So you know go be like saying we no help you. Never get your BP, get your PVC, get your BP, get your PVC.
You know the dapper, better get your PVC. You know the dapper, better get your PVC. If you know the dapper, your PVC. If you know the dapper, get your PVC.
Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba.
Nigeria country, Nigeria country, Nigeria country, Nigeria country.
Not yet.
Yeah, we are. Woo! And
right.
let me see. Does anybody know whose voice that was? Let's see. If you know whose voice that was on the song, by the way, type 111.
No, they won't get. If you can get whose voice is on that song, I'm giving away a free gift today.
Okay, I am now.
Today.
Free gifts. Let's
Whose
make
voice,
it happen.
whose voice on that? And by the way, just in case you didn't know, that song Japa is
fresh
from the bakeries of Broken Walls Studio.
Studio.
I'm telling you, by the artist herself.
So how you so are you the one taking the giveaway?
It's me now.
I thought you would allow some people the opportunity to to guess and win something. Okay. Anyway.
They will win. They will win if they tell me who is the voice of the backup.
Oh. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that first segment, and we were privileged to have Uche here with us to tell us something really interesting. Yes, I say it's really interesting because I know that a number of times people don't want to talk about this, or people don't get to talk about this issue.
Somebody says my voice.
It's your voice.
No, you have to really try to win this gift. You need to be able to win this gift.
This issue of sex before marriage and so on and so forth. Should we wait? Should we not wait? And so on. Yes, but Uche shared with us a personal account, and I think it was really good to hear that. And Uche, I know you're behind the camera now, but I believe if you shout it loud enough, everyone will hear. So if we ask you to go back and do it all over again, would you still go on this path of no sex before marriage?
Of course, I will.
Okay.
It was worth it. The waiting was worth
okay. He says it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. Yes, that's what Uche says. So, Debbie, I see you. It's good to see you. Timora, I see you. Jennifer Uzoma, good evening. Peace Ademola, hi. Hey. Peace says it's KJ.
What?
Peace says it's KJ. That is the backup. Oh my goodness, Peace. So you have just won yourself. What has she won?
Yeah, I will tell him at the end of the
okay. So
if it stays along to them. But Peace, you have won. You have a personal gift from me. You have a personal gift from me. So once the show ends, just before the show ends, boss, I will tell you what your free gift is. That song is fresh. That song is hot, and the video is going to be hitting you very soon. While we are on that subject, please go and get your PVC. Go and get your PVC.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it for us, really. Go and get your PVC. Let your vote count. Let your voice speak.
Yes, I know. Normally they say, "Oh, votes don't count in Nigeria."
Let's make it
this time around.
Let's make it count.
Just go and vote, Sha. Let's start by voting. Then we can do all the other things.
All the other things. Let's start by
all
voting.
the other things.
All right.
This poll.
Yeah. But the result was shocking. So what that's telling me is that people will actually, not everybody likes to sleep around.
What was the result again?
69. Now 71.
71, 29.
And 71 are saying that what they will actually go ahead in a relationship, even if the other person says
the sex is not coming up.
Yeah. Well, I think most people know by now, or it is common knowledge, that a number of times the loudest voices are not the majority. I'll say that again. A number of times,
Tagline.
loudest voices are
And
not the majority. You know, and unfortunately, that's just the case. And a lot of times we wish that the majority, especially when the majority is in favor of something good, something of value, something that has a lot of potential, and so on and so forth. A number of times we wish that the majority will speak up, right? But a lot of times the majority feel we know what's right, we know what's good, we're doing it, we're fine. Let the people that are saying whatever they're saying say it. Example, this issue of marriage and divorce.
Right.
The noise that is being made about divorce, you would think that every single family is going through a divorce.
Let me put a twist on that thing you just said. The noise that is being made about marriage, you would think that every single marriage is failing.
Exactly, the negative noise.
That's been made about it. We think every marriage is failing.
And
this is 12 also going on 15. And we know somebody.
And we know people whose marriage has
25.
Whose marriage has finished secondary school, universities. Their marriage
is
ready to get married.
I mean, see, 25 years, 30 years, you know them. As in real life people, not in cartoon.
Oh my goodness.
You understand? As in real life people, not in cartoon, not film.
Yes.
And
yes,
this happens. So I hear that.
Yeah, so it's good to see that the numbers are telling us an interesting story. But today we're going to talk about this thing of sexual appetite and preferences. It is so important that we address it. I mean, we've talked about a number of things, and today we are getting down to this one: sexual appetite versus preferences, right? And we are going to talk about it from the side of the singles, people who are not, of course, who are still single, and from the side of those who are married. So let's look at how we're going to apportion the time.
Okay.
This is 8:24. We have 36 minutes left. So we're going to do.
No, but Bobby, this time I will personally ask for extra time if people ask for it. If people demand extra time,
when we get there, right?
They will have to give us extra time. Yes, but
okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So we'll start with the singles.
Yeah.
Let's start with singles. Okay. So singles, feel free to chime in while we're going through this. Right. Tell us what you prefer. Okay, we've already done the poll, and you have given us your feedback there. So I'm going to start with this, right?
But they are also free to tell us what they think while
yes, feel free. So if we are to go by let's say all that is lawful and right and all that is ideal, right? And if you are to go with if you are a person of faith, whatever faith, right? Or well, let me not say whatever, because there are some faiths that have a different opinion. But if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, and so on, your religion has probably told you.
Your religion dictates.
Yes, and for good reason. If I want to speak from the perspective of a Christian, right? No sex before marriage. But in fact, the Bible says flee fornication. That's how I put it. So ideally, for a Christian, right, and any other faith that prescribes the same thing, you know that this is something you shouldn't do for many reasons, right? Number one, it will keep you from a lot of complications. Number two, it will save you some trauma in the future when you are beginning to look back and do some comparisons and so on and so forth. And it reduces your risk, the complexities. There's a lot, right? If you want to find out all the issues that can go wrong with sex before marriage, please buy husband material. There's
the link is in the comment section.
Yes,
you know that one
there's a chapter where we break it down in detail, the different things, the risk, the exposure, and so on. Okay. But now, assuming that you have gotten involved in sex before marriage,
as many people of us have,
for whatever reason you got there, however you got there, right? For some people, it wasn't a choice. It happened. Right? Now, but some people, it was a choice and they have continued in it. Okay. If you are in that school then you have explored, you have been adventurous, and with your exploration and adventure, you know certain things about yourself.
It's the exploration for me.
Yes. Now, this is why somebody's saying laugh out loud. This this is why we say it is really important that these things should be discussed.
Discussed.
Yes, and this is why I'll just give you one instance. Once upon a time, while I was, according to my husband, wakaing pass or waka passing,
Yes.
whichever, on social media, I saw a post where a lady who is, at that time, she was only 3 months into her marriage, came on social media and was seriously lamenting.
Please, let's hear the lament. Pay attention.
Okay.
You might learn a thing
She
or
was
two.
seriously lamenting. Why was she lamenting? That she has gotten married to a Christian brother. And she, because they did not have sex before marriage, right?
Okay.
She did not know so much, in quotes, about him because they were all waiting for the wedding night. And behold, the wedding night arrives
and
the package is revealed.
Okay.
And she is extremely disappointed because the dimensions that she was expecting.
Wait, are you saying the brother was not big enough, or it was not long enough, or he was not wide enough?
If you just, let's just call it volume.
Okay, the
So
volume.
that whether you're doing length, breadth, circumference, whatever
depth,
it is, whatever it is you're doing, the calculation of the volume was too small for her.
And so she was not satisfied.
And she was not satisfied. And why wasn't she satisfied? She was honest enough to tell us that she had been around before.
She has been a player.
Yes, before she decided, okay, I want to get married now, and I want to get married to a Christian brother, in quotes, right? So, and from her being around, she had a preference.
So in addition to her appetites that she has explored, now she has, after you exploring the appetite, now she has developed a preference.
Yes, and this preference is in the dimensional axis.
Yes, but this brother is spiritual, yes. He has some good things, yes.
The brother was wonderful.
Wonderful, but the dimensions. Oh my goodness, it's the dimensions for me.
So
it's the dimensions.
So the question now is how much?
Yeah, so that means I'm not the only one feeling the dimensions.
The question is how much? What should we discuss? To what extent should we go in discussing this thing? And how can we prevent ourselves from this kind of trauma that this lady was going to, that made her forget about her dignity, her privacy, and all the other things?
And brought dimensions
she brought
to social
it
media.
To social media.
Goodness.
And then confessed the sin of her past and the trauma of her present.
Of her present. Oh my goodness. So if this copy and paste hashtag, if these conversations are not had, the sins of the past will be revealed by the traumas of the present. I'm hearing you.
Brother.
Preach, mommy.
You're speaking.
Mommy, help me. Mommy, help me. Oh my goodness. Keep flowing. You have the juice. You have the juice. You're on a roll. Just continue.
Let's see. Jay's Empire says sexual preference may suggest a degree of voluntary choice.
Jay, it would be good if you break that English down for
Yeah, he's beginning to sound like some people know.
Why are you talking like this?
Speak English.
Because the thing will can confuse person. So, Jay's Empire, please, you still in the comments, you can break it down. But if you want to comment, we'll put a link there so that you can.
So while he's breaking it down, let me say something. Some people say, or someone might say, why are you talking only about people who have explored? What about people that have not explored?
Yeah.
Don't they have a problem? Let me tell you why it is simpler or easier to a great extent for people that have not explored.
Tell us, mommy. Tell us.
For people who haven't explored, especially if you are also going on into the marriage with someone who hasn't explored, or maybe someone who has, but it is a lot easier
there's no
for you to handle what you find, right? Because it's new for you, it's new territory for you, and it's like a learning process. So if you have another person who is patient to go on that learning process with you,
Mhm.
a number of things are easier. And the fact that yes, and what you see for you is going to be like, this is it, right?
Yeah.
And from that, this is it, you are going to start working towards making it better and
So,
more
so
interesting.
that means if you have not explored
Yes.
before, if you have not done away game, home and away a lot, when you get into the marriage relationship, that's when your exploration starts.
Yes.
That's when you now start finding, this is how I like it.
Exactly.
That is how
so
I like
exactly. And so your experience is like, okay, yeah, that was okay, interesting. What can we do to make it better?
it.
And you know, when we
I'm
talk
always about
in the corporate world, I mean, and environment and stuff, we talk about continuous improvement, right?
Continuous improvement process.
Continuous improvement applies even in marriage, in your sexual
life. Experience.
Yes, in your sexual experience. Thank you
My
very
goodness,
much.
don't worry, the
Because
words are
you
there,
can
the words are there.
actually sit down and say, okay, let's do an assessment. Last night was so and so and so. What did you like? What did you not like? What can we improve?
See, listen, let me stop you right there. I'm stopping you, but it's not the kind of police stopping. It's the kind of stopping that I needed you to break down slowly. Why? Because what you have just said now is the conversation that is not being had. People do sex, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So some guys have an idea of what they think an exciting sexual experience is. So the guy comes and they feel it is maybe by how hard you are hitting when the woman is not a drum, by how hard you are pounding when she's not a mortar. You know, but that's the definition that some guys have about the sexual experience. If it's very hard, it means, man, I delivered.
And after you feel you have delivered, the woman may be thinking, I need to run away. I need to start giving excuses like I have a headache,
but then
work was really tiring today.
For one person, there's that idea that it was exciting, but for the other person, there's also that idea that, well, he just came and had his way, and now I'm on my own. I'm not dead. So that's what I'm trying to stop, to bring it back to say, hey, that
I was talking
said,
about
just
communication.
Just say it slowly.
Yes.
Because communication is a key part of the sexual experience.
And I believe
and people don't talk about it.
And I believe our married viewers are listening to this. And I can imagine some of you have already been doing this, but just in case you haven't, it's an opportunity for you to do something to improve your sexual experience, which is talk about it.
Talk about it.
Whether it is a last night matter or a yesterday matter or this morning matter. Oh, we have people backstage. Yeah.
Oh, we have some people backstage.
Yes, we'll get to the. Hey, Daddy, that is
here from last week.
Yes,
oh, Daddy, yes.
So we'll get to that shortly.
So, but Babi, please land.
Yes, I'm about to land. So whatever time it was, you actually should revisit those experiences, especially when you are starting out. So this is why I say, for someone who didn't explore, it's easy because it's okay, this is what I experienced, this is what I felt, and I liked this thing that you did here, this other one didn't work for me, and you begin to walk through those things and adjust. What should I do for you? What do I want you to do for me? And so on. Two people who love each other and are married and want to keep improving their sexual experience can just continue on that path and make it more beautiful.
And especially for the brothers. Can I talk to you, brothers? Listen, don't forget, we have already done the disclaimer of who we are talking to. We're not talking to people that are doing away game.
Exactly. At this point, we're talking to couples, married couples.
For brothers, I mean, if you had an experience and it didn't end well for you, hey, it's a conversation, right? Because sometimes it happens. You were trying to do a marathon and you finish in 100 meters dash.
It's the dash.
The dash. You are trying to do a marathon, but you finish in 100 meters dash. It happens, guys, right? Talk about it. What happened?
Yeah.
Now, this is for people in a married relationship, and so. Oh my goodness, I was just about to bring Daddy on, and Daddy.
Yeah, but while that is coming back in, we can read some of the comments because they're rolling in.
Daddy, please, if you're there, please come back. We need you. Jason said, preference will come as a result of attraction, whether the preference is male or female or thick or thin. My goodness. To come as a result of attraction. I'm hearing you.
He says
exactly. For people who haven't explored, it's actually good because you have no experience on this particular thing. Fantastic. So when you finally explore, you will be satisfied and not even know how others taste.
And you won't be doing comparisons.
You won't be doing
because
comparisons.
the experience we shared, she had so much to compare. You know, so much history, so much backlog.
Ooh,
yes, and she was able to.
KJ says, I'm asking for a friend, for a friend. When people say they're asking for a friend, they are usually their own friends sometimes. But let's leave it there. I'm asking for a friend. How does he satisfy his woman who has a high sex drive and is hardly satisfied? Every appetite has a oh my goodness, Bobby, there's a word that's coming to me. That every appetite has where it hits its marginal utility. It is at that point, there is that point where you say, yes, this is how it is for me. Yes, this is what works for me. So it is out of communication that you are able to establish, this is what works for me. If she has a high sex drive and the guy has a low sex drive, it is a product of communication, in which case the guy needs to either get an accelerator to meet her own drive, or she needs to take it slow in order to meet his own drive. Are we communicating?
And honestly, I know that in a few, or let me not say few, in some cases you have people whose appetite is like out of this world, and their partner is on the other extreme. There's room for counseling. There's room for you to get help. Right? You don't have to die in silence.
No, you don't have to. These conversations are being had. So it's when you think that nobody is listening or nobody is having what you are having. My brother, conversations are being had. There are ways around this, especially in the married scenario. You know, in the married scenario, there are these things. We're having these conversations all the time. We are solving the problem. So don't die in silence. Please speak up. Jason Empire brings clarity. He says sexual appetite may also have a pattern. I hear you. The person may desire and have a picture of how we want it. That is why we say communication is key.
Yes. So now, key. Jay is bringing us nicely back to the singles.
The singles. Okay. So from the singles, but before we go there, let's hear.
Daddy.
Ever since last week, let's please. I hope your network is up.
Yes, and you're wearing your earpiece or your headset
or something,
so that we don't have feedback.
Please, that's you're on. Please, can you talk if you can hear us? Oh no, we lost him again. There's someone else. Hannah C. Hannah C, you are live. Hannah C.
Hi, good evening, please.
Good evening. You are the first caller in. Network has been doing us.
The more you look,
the more you look, the less you see. But now we're in. So, Hannessy.
I'm sorry, I've not been following actually. I just joined.
Okay. All right. So, Hannessy, we will just continue with the discussion, and when you get the gist, yes, you can come right back in.
Okay. Just stay backstage. Stay backstage. Yeah, and we'll bring you in. Mayawa has a thing or two to say. There's a thing that I want to talk about right there, but. You think I'll go to Akwa Ibom and I'll not come back with something? What are you talking about? Yeah. Mayawa,
hello.
Yes, you're on.
Hello, PK. Good evening.
Hello.
Please, I hope I'm not feeding back.
No, you're not.
Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. So I think this whole sexual, I'm hearing myself twice.
It's not from us. Trust me.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
That's why you use an earpiece.
Okay, so just a second so I can hear myself. So I think about the sexual drive thing, it's a thing of faith. So most people that go into this whole marriage stuff expect that when they get there, like everything might just go horribly wrong. But then there's a possibility that everything might go horribly right. How about the other maybe 60% of people who are just like a perfect match for each other, that get married and then maybe their sex drive are both low or their sex drive are both high? We really don't talk about that. We just hear about the extremes. Maybe one person is hanging leg on roof and the other person just wants to just be a Christian about it.
Somebody's
Or
dancing on the
so may I also
chandelier.
know of the positive. PK, what did you
Go
say?
ahead. I said maybe somebody's dancing on the chandelier.
Right. But I think I know, right? Like I understand, but I think there's a place for keeping yourself before marriage. It also helps trust, because if you are married to someone who would do it before marriage, what then is the assurance that when you guys are married, you will not have issues? That since you could do it with me before we got married, it's obvious that you can obviously do it with your secretary or the house help or any other thing you get, and then we start having different issues. But if you can trust your lady, then it works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Maiwa, thank you very much for that.
Thank you
He's
very much.
highlighting the fact that, and this is one of the things we talked about in husband material. If you saving yourself before marriage gives you the opportunity to practice how to define those boundaries, stick with them, restrain yourself, discipline, and so on, so that and it also builds trust, so that by the time you get married, your spouse is not afraid whenever somebody of the opposite sex comes in, because they're thinking that, hey, they don't trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. If you can hear us, please use
a
the
headset.
headphone, and because we're getting feedback from you. Can you hear us? Can you try to speak again? What's happening with his network now? All right, that's it. If you can't, please.
All right, Peace.
Maybe chat, right?
Okay. So Peace has a comment. And before Peace, there's someone who has a comment.
Okay,
right
is that
there.
Jason Empire? No.
The
Jason
next
Empire
one.
has said this brother savage is heavier. The only option is to jackpot. No, you can't jackpot like that. Yeah.
Uche.
Every appetite has a point of satisfaction or belly full. If you can get there, jackpot. They should need hashtag jackpot. Please recommend some accelerators. That one is a case of private counseling. When they come private, just send us a message, chat us. Accelerators, and then Uchichiku Inhoyen. It says, I met a pastor who told my wife and I that from the first time he and his wife had sex, they married as virgin till now. They've not seen the big deal about sex. What do you say to this? My brother, this thing.
I couldn't help but just
this
like jaw drops.
This thing that you have just said, this thing I just said is very key. Bobby, you want to share? Okay, we don't have the time to share that experience, but the truth is, everybody has their reality, and in that reality, somebody can see sex as a curse because their first time and second or third time was painful. In which case, every time you bring up the subject of sex is a trauma for that person, right? And does that mean that sex is traumatic? No. In fact, my wife had an experience where somebody told her, it is your cross. So, as in this sex thing, if the guy is too big, it's your cross. You can't do anything about it. You just bear the pain.
The person said, look at it as the pain that the person you love is inflicting
on you. My sister, my brother, there's pain in marriage, but it's not this kind.
Yes, it doesn't have to be this kind. And this is, sorry to cut in, and this was me trying to find out how to prepare for marriage, right? And this is what my elder, elder
in marriage has.
Somebody who was there before me, and I felt like I could get some wise counsel from her. I wasn't satisfied with that counsel. So I had to go and read books
and research.
Yes, and books gave me the answer that I was looking for.
And big was not an issue.
So that at the end of the day, it's not a challenge. At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be a thing that's something that you're carrying as a cross, right? Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that a lot of people, when they want to get into something as critical as marriage, don't even take the time to empower themselves.
Yes.
So okay, so we'll go to
Peace says, so what about couples that are about to be married, but then they are under a condition from either the guy's or the lady's family to have sex, and probably the lady must get pregnant before
This is where we talk about
culture.
responsibility
There's here
and maturity.
So there's responsibility
and culture, like we
there's
discussed
maturity,
last week.
yes, and there's culture, which we discussed last week. So in this regard, because this is more specific, right? And it's a cultural it's a cultural conversation.
Yes, but in addition to it being a cultural conversation, there's a point that you come to in your life, and you need to be able to make certain decisions because you are old enough and mature enough to make certain decisions. So if you are a Christian and then somebody is telling you that you must, I want to see evidence that the person is pregnant first before you get married, that goes against your faith. So which one are you going to go with? Are you going to go with what maybe your parents want, or are you going to go with your faith? What is the call for you? So this is where you as an individual need to look within and answer that question for yourself.
So actually, this is the point where there's an intersection between culture and convictions.
A clash,
right? There's a clash. We had that last week. And the link is also there.
You can go and watch it.
You can go and watch it so that you can begin to bring context.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
can you say something?
Okay, hi, good evening, everyone.
Yay!
Can you see my hands lifted?
Finally, since last week, we are so glad to have you. Go ahead.
Okay, so me, I would not do that. It's wrong. I mean, you're not supposed to carry pregnancy because you want the man to marry before you should carry belly before the man marry you. It's very wrong. If he wants to marry you, if he wants you to carry his child, then you should do it the right way. Meet your parents, do the marital rights, and then you carry his child. There's nothing like carrying child for marriage and all that. I mean,
thank you very much.
Yes, because if we're looking at it from the way we are taught, from the teachings of Christ, it's very wrong. And then, aside that, what if after you carry the pregnancy, the man just become woman and say he's not doing again? You now end up becoming a single mother, you train the child by yourself. You know? Or you go and carry belly now, you go and carry the process. God forbid. You go, you go marry.
You say.
So it's better
or you
just
give birth to a girl and they say it's a boy they want.
Or you give birth to a girl and they say it's boy.
Yes.
It's boy they want. So you need to go
and then there's another thing. My mom used to say one thing, that when a man marries you, does everything the right way, there's this respect he's going to accord to you. So when you are carrying his child, you are his wife. He knows that there's some.
Oh well, have we lost her? That's it. Okay, we've lost her. Let's continue with some comments. I've heard that people pray before having sex. Please, what can you say about this? My brother, you're hearing plenty things. Is anything wrong with committing the journey into the hands of the Lord?
There's nothing wrong. I mean, we pray before we eat, right? You pray. Some people pray before they drink water. They bless the water. You pray when you're about to travel, especially if you live in Nigeria. And you pray before you write exams, just so God will help you remember everything. You pray before you're going to do a speech. I mean, we pray about everything. So let's not add too much drama here. If you feel the need to, please go ahead and pray. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think we need to spend more time on that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Uche, can you hear us? Uche, we can't hear Uche.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We heard you, but it went off. Uche, can you hear us? We heard you, but can you hear us? Your sound, but we can't hear you. Your sound is not coming through.
All right, so I wanted to contribute to. Can hear you again.
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. So concerning the getting married without knowing what to do, like having not tasted sex, there is nothing wrong with talking about sex in marriage. You can't have sex before marriage, but you can actually talk about it before and after marriage, or during marriage rather. So I think people should be made to understand that. So if there's anything your partner is doing that you don't understand or you don't like, there should be communication, and you should be open to exploring things, new ideas, make researches. Definitely you get to know things that work for the both of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uche. Thank you. Yes, you made an important point there. The fact that you can talk about certain things. Let me tell you something. And somebody will say, "Oh, how much should we talk about? Maybe we should talk about what we'll do, how we'll do it." There's the kind of talk that you will talk, and you will end up doing it before the wedding.
There's the kind of talk.
You just better mind what you're saying.
There's the kind of talk. So when you are having the talk, the talk should be in levels. Since you don't want to do it before marriage, let the talk be in levels. When people have reached the critical part of the marriage, you are going to say, "Hey, you can be talking about who is hanging."
Yeah, even the kind of material you expose yourself to while you are preparing, right? Some people, if you read certain things too early, you're just setting yourself up, because some things are described in such a way that it could actually stir your emotions and start making you want to act on those emotions. So really, just be wise, right? And discuss what needs to be discussed before marriage. Somebody will say, okay, what can we discuss before marriage? What can we discuss before marriage?
I will discuss that with you. But Peace says, deep. But it's not that easy though. I know someone this happened to. They had to do what the family said. Like we discussed, Peace. Like we said before, it's a battle of culture versus convictions, right? And that one is a very specific angle, in which case you need to look at certain specific things that they can do, because it has happened. The fact that it happened to one person, there are other people too that it didn't happen to, that are in the same culture, right? So it's a bit more specific. Tomorrow says, "KJ, you have killed me. Oh. Where did you hear this more?" No, but really, what can we talk about? What did we talk about during our own time? We talked about different things, and the things that we felt were sensitive to not speak about, we researched. But by the time we're getting close to the gate of heaven, we have to compare notes. Abi, we have to compare notes. We have to look at it and say, when a handshake move from hand to elbow, that's turned to wrestling.
So when you talk about this right now, I'm trying to go down memory lane. I know we didn't have a lot of elaborate discussion on what to expect and what not to expect. For me, there wasn't a need. For me, there wasn't a need because I had done my research.
The books plenty. There are some books, very Christian books. And
my fact finding
that even me, as a Christian brother, when she gave it to me to read, and I read, I knew some things.
So there are certain questions I didn't need to ask. And I didn't have any preferences. You see, so I didn't need to go down to the specifics. What we're really saying about the level of detail in discussion. You see, if you are in a situation where you have those strong preferences, you need to go to the level of detail to make sure you don't come on social media in 3 months after the wedding to start asking certain questions. Do you understand? If you have decided that for you it always has to happen on the fan, and you're not sure if the man is able to hang on the fan or the woman is able to suspend herself on the fan, if you have in your adventures found out that it has to be the fan, then you need to now discuss down to the level of, my dear brother, my dear sister, I like fan. and it needs to be on number 3 when it's happening. Do you understand? So you now need to get to that level of detail in the discussion, because I come on you, but for whatever reason you have had the experience and the adventure. You cannot now say, okay, I'll be quiet until after the wedding. After the wedding, you now start complaining. I'm not satisfied. He's not giving me what I want. She doesn't turn me on. He this, he that, she that. No. If you have built those strong preferences, the kind that will make you damn your pride and your everything and come on social media and embarrass yourself, then please just have the discussion before the wedding, so that if the person tells you, and somebody will say, okay, even if I ask him and how will I find out? Are we now going to, like, for instance, strip and start assessing ourselves? No. If it has gotten to the point, if, for instance, your case, like if that lady of dimensions came and we are Christians, I will tell her, tell your guy to go to the hospital.
And go and get dimensions.
Let a doctor help him with the analysis.
On the circumference.
Let the doctor give him the feedback.
The diameter.
Yes, and because you have told him what your preference is. If after the doctor tells him the outcome, right, he now feels, okay, yes, I have met her criteria, then he can come back and boldly tell you. When the doctor tells him, guy, from what that woman is saying, it's not going to work, then he can come and tell you, well, I've gotten the result and it looks like it's not going to work. Favorable. But or if you decide to lie to her and get into it, then whatever you get is what you get. But you cannot keep quiet about it.
This is why this subject of honesty in relationships is very critical.
Yes.
Very critical to relationships that want to survive.
Yes.
You have to talk about things. You cannot just do things. You cannot just do sex. And then I'm talking about couples. You just do sex and you are afraid to ask how was it, because maybe the woman says it's not so good. You will not feel bad. And as the man of the house, I'm supposed to feel. No,
you have to talk about
it. You have to talk about it. How was it?
Yes.
How did you feel about it?
And in fact, sometimes the communication is not just after the fact. Sometimes the communication also needs to be happening in the process. Do you understand? It's almost like somebody's wearing blindfolds, right? And the second person is supposed to guide them to a particular target, right? So you should be able to tell them, go 2 steps forward, 1 step to the right, a little more to the right. No, come back to the left. Yes, stay there. It's working. No, move. Stop. The way this is happening right now, it's not working. Nothing's happening today. As in, you should be able to, our married viewers, you should be able to have those discussions. It helps a lot. And if this thing of pain, if you're a lady and for you have a lot of pain during intercourse, please don't continue in that pain. Because it takes away your joy. It just makes the whole thing traumatic for you. You don't need that. Please, though, talk to what they call them, the healthcare providers. Just talk to a doctor. This is the issue. What do I do? They'll tell you.
If really you have that, you can leave us after the show is over. You can leave us a comment, right? Either on Facebook or on YouTube. You can leave us a comment, or you can send us a personal
or
mail.
A note. Yes, send a mail. We'll reply to you.
We'll reply to you.
There's no reason why anybody should be.
There's no reason why anyone should be going through pain.
Yes,
right. You should be going through pain. There's a way to do this. Sometimes there may be some medical case that it's all through the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. I see Amanda here saying,
she said she can't get through. Yeah. So, okay. So Amanda, I'm not quite sure what the issue is, but I would say please try again, and let's see if we can have you with us in the studio. If not, you also have the option of typing your comments, and we can read it and respond to it. Yeah. So,
right. So
Jay's
Empire said sexual desire can be affected by many things. True. Like physical, emotion, experience, belief, lifestyle, and current experiences. Jay's Empire, you're very correct. You're completely.
And current experiences go from how tough it was in the office to whether you just got a promotion or a demotion,
or a demotion,
to
right?
how many pots of food you cooked in the afternoon.
It really talks about your mood.
Yes.
You know, I know the truth is we can't talk about this enough. The truth is anything can affect your sexual appetite. Anything. If any number of things like Jay's Empire has stipulated. But it is out of conversation, right, that you are able to that you're able to deal with the outcomes of it. Because you can be excited. You can be excited, but down there's no excitement coming through. You can be discouraged up here, and once you are busy up here, nothing is going on down there. No matter the excitement they face, sometimes, and I must say this to young people, right? Sometimes, young people think that, oh, because of how much I want to have sex, I can just let's just be doing this sex thing all over the place. But sometimes, man, that thing after a while, the sex is not the thing on top of your mind, right? It's not the thing on top of your mind. You will see sex go hard, and you can't even do it because you are thinking something, you're thinking business, you're thinking work, you're thinking deadline, you're thinking a number of things. So as attractive as the occasion may present itself, but because up here you are stuck, nothing is going to fire up down there. And I'm talking as a guy, nothing's going to fire up down there. I hope the guys get it. I'm talking to the guys.
So this is something that I think the key things here we've talked about, communication, right? And the degree of communication, how it varies with each person's experience. For some people, they need to get down to very serious details. For others, not necessarily. And that's what, when you're talking about singles, and then for married couples, the fact that through the act, after the act, all of that, you need to communicate to make sure that you are continuously improving your experience and that there's joy for both parties. Not where one person feels fine and the other person feels used. You don't want that. Or one person is totally satisfied and the other person is traumatized. You don't want those. So I saw you wanted to share Timora's comment.
Yeah, Timora's comment. Timora said, I'm not married yet, but I think waiting till marriage before sex helps the marriage sustain. It says, learning is a process, so it will give the couple the opportunity to learn about each other together through what was said and look forward to better days and newer experiences while looking back at where things were before. So if you already know all this, you deprive yourself of this opportunity, which is a cornerstone for a lasting marriage. Others may think differently, though. Before we go, they've given us too many signs to say, hey, it's time to go. It's time up. It's time up. In ending this whole honesty conversation, right? This honesty in relationship. This is the final one. In ending this, I just wanted to run through a number of things that we have captured in this series. Somebody has a question there, sir.
Let's see. What do you say?
Somebody has a question there. It says, what about situations like you were raped, but then you kept yourself till after marriage, even after the incident? How would your sex life be? So for that one, there really is. Let me approach it from the psychological perspective about rape, right? It is a trauma, right? So once someone has been raped, even to have the regular sexual experience, there's a lot going on in there. So before they even come back to having a normal relationship, they need to be walked through the trauma, in order to get to the place where they begin to have a normal experience. Okay. So if you know someone, they won't just jump back right in. They need to be schooled, they need to be counseled, they need to see a professional, they need to see a professional to walk them through that process. Thank you. My was say staying before marriage is not easy. Losing your virginity can be as easy as being in the wrong room at the wrong time. My brother, losing your virginity is as easy as being in the right room in the wrong weather. You're in the right room, but the weather was wrong, and you just, it's very it can
That's so
very
funny.
easily happen.
Does it count
if you and your partner
explored
have
before?
explored before, but then
decide
decide not to do it anymore
Before
marriage? That can happen.
That's fine, right?
That can
But we are
happen.
saying, if from the explore that you explored before, you develop certain tastes and preferences that are serious enough to make you come online 3 months after, please discuss it. Address the issue. So be honest with this person to let them know that you have these expectations or you have these strong preferences. Don't keep them in the dark and then go into the marriage and then start telling them that they are not satisfying you, or that they are not measuring up, or they are not even to do it like this other person, or you start doing all the comparisons. You affect their self-esteem, you affect a number of things, and it just doesn't work. So please, if you have developed, whether you developed it before and then you stopped and now you are whatever, please address those issues that are critical for you. Don't keep silent about them. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
So just before we conclude, I wanted to run through a number of things that we've talked about through this series.
Yes.
We have talked about a number of things from episode 1 till episode 4. We have said things like honesty versus privacy. You remember that one in episode 1? Please, if you haven't seen the episode, you can go back to episode 1 of the series. We had discernment is very important. That was still episode 1. We had timing is really very key. Don't leave it too late. I think that was episode 2. Vulnerability is also a matter to consider. We talked about the right to a truth. If you remember, the right to a truth. You can't tell everybody everything. Some people have to earn the right to hear what you have to say, or that particular truth. Personality matters. We said personality matters. We said get down to the details and talk about how money will be managed. We talk about your money is my money, or your money is our money, however you see it. That's episode 2, right? Or 3, I can't even remember. Culture. Where culture is concerned, wisdom is very necessary. That was episode 3, yes. Where we talk about culture and convictions. Yes. So we said you need to learn how to pick your battles. That was on culture. Again, you need to learn how to pick your battles. Culture in your home must acknowledge the changing times. True. We said a number of times the loudest voices are not the majority. And we said finally talk about the sexual experience. You have to talk about it.
Peace has an interesting comment here. She says,
"Is it he?"
Oh, Peace Ademola.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Said, thank you for this program. I love it. It's very interesting. It's my first time joining. Oh,
nice. Thank you so much. Nice. And yes, we want to thank everyone who has been with us through the honesty series. That's been interesting, just touching on these issues.
It's true. Sorry. Peace wants something.
Yes, she mentioned KJ.
No, Peace. Is it a he? Is it a Peace? Are you a he or a she? We don't really know. So maybe what you can do, you can't call him. I would have said, can you leave your email address? What can they leave us? What can they leave us? Phone number? Would it be okay to leave her phone number in the comment section?
No,
she can leave a phone number in the comment section.
Or she can reach out to us on Facebook.
Yes. So please,
Facebook Messenger.
Reach out to us on Facebook Messenger. We will get you your gift, and then you can come and share it next week when we come back on the show. Thank you, Peace. Thank you. What if you communicate? How will your partner know if she can handle the fan on speed 3? It's in the communication. That's how she will know when you communicate. It's in the communication. When you communicate, when people are communicating now, you know, when you turn it to 1 and she says, "Oh, one can work," or 2 can work.
He is talking about
before it's in the communication. If the thing has started heading towards the marriage door, you people should communicate. Like I said, when you communicate, you will not only find out the preferences, you will also discover the rates at which they want those preferences.
And you can also talk
and then you can now talk about how do we manage
how do we adapt, how do we come to a middle ground.
Everybody,
because in this thing one person says, "Oh, I want 100 times." You can't expect the other person necessarily to say, "I will match you at 100."
At 100 times.
Person may say, "Oh, I like 20, but I'm willing to move to 50. Can you meet me halfway?"
True,
Come on. These things are to be discussed. I mean, we all have to get to a place where we're not, in quotes, insisting on having
one way.
Yes, it has to be my way. Everybody has to come and meet
I've said it before, and that's a topic we may have to take sometime. But I don't know. Maybe that one will be that one may be for couples. That marriage is an institution of compromise, but we will need to discuss that clearly.
All right.
Our time is up.
Facebook handle Anietie Bature.
Just put at Anietie Bature. That's our handle on Facebook,
yes,
our handle on YouTube,
Instagram,
our handle on everywhere at Anietie Bature. That's our handle everywhere at Anietie Bature. Just reach out and send us a comment. Tell us, hey, I'm Peace Ademola from the show, and we will send you your gift. Yes, you were about to give the closing remarks.
Yes, so thanks everyone for sticking with us. Yes, today we've gone over, but we needed to address some of those questions that came in. And we are so happy you stayed with us up to this point, 12 minutes after the hour. Thank you so much. And until we come to you again next week, I want to remind you, common sense is not so common. See you next week. Bye.
Bye you. Bye you. Bye. I'll say bye. Come on, be good.